Good morning, friends, and all my students. You were listening to the Biology Brain Buffer, and I'm your biology mentor, Bhaskar sir. So, few days back, one student came to me and asked, Sir, what is the difference between DNA footprinting and DNA fingerprinting? Oh, first of all, let me tell you, if you want to know about me, you can go to the About section of this channel and you can get all the details of my motto and this description box in the channel. Okay, fine. So then I was thinking, why not we are making a video on the DNA footprinting, because in the molecular biology, DNA fingerprinting, this is very important. But foot and finger, these are, again you can ask me why this molecule having a foot or finger like a human creature. It is nothing like that. It is just a human tendency to correlate our emotion, our behavior with the molecular level so that we can understand these things in a better way. So DNA molecule neither have a foot nor finger, still it is having to do with the DNA footprinting or fingerprinting. So once upon a time, that student came and asked me, so what is the difference between this footprinting and fingerprinting? So I told, once upon a time in 1978, D. Gallas, as you see here, and Albert Smith, these two scientists were working with the Lac Operon system. So what is the basic concept? You have a DNA stretch and they are studying this DNA molecule can interact with the different proteins. Suppose this is the Lac repressor protein. So what is the basic criteria of the fingerprinting? Fingerprinting, in that case, we use repetitive DNA, VNTR. We will talk about it in the later different videos. So there, this VNTR region is being cut by the restriction enzyme and you check the DNA profile with the another criminal or the suspected. But in the DNA footprinting, it is like this. Suppose you are standing in a huge paper. Suppose you are standing here and I have painted with color, entire sheet with color. Now if I remove you, you can see the entire sheet is being coated with the paint. Suppose this is the paint, green paint. Only this two region, the impression of your foot will come and the nose stain will be adhere to that part because you have covered it. So it is like this. Suppose if I put my hand here and start drawing a line, so if it is goes like this is my footprint, correct? So you can see this back end part, it is known as the footprint. Now when the DNA protein interact, now this point is different from the DNA fingerprinting. When the DNA and protein interact, in that condition only, you can see, now suppose this protein is capable to bind to a certain sequence of the DNA. Now let me come to the two basic component of the DNA that can bind: promoter and enhancer. These are the two regions of the DNA, that is a sequence of the DNA that can capable to interact with the protein. Now see, the protein can bind with this promoter region. For example, if I take sp1 protein, it will bind to the GC rich domain. We will come to this point later on. And enhancer is nothing. What is enhancer? Enhancer are the DNA sequence. For example, like it is 50 to 1500 base pair long cis acting element. This is called a cis acting element. Means it is in the same line where the DNA is there. So suppose it is your gene or DNA. Now the cis acting element could be here, it could be here, anywhere. Now protein means here the transcription factor. So DNA footprinting is very important in vitro study. Now there are two different types, we'll come to that. So in vitro study, now transcription is going on. RNA is being produced from the DNA. Now transcription factor are capable to bind here to activate the transcription process. Now this transcription factor is binding to this region either in the enhancer or in the promoter region. So it is if it is connected with the enhancer region, that means it is enhancing the transcription or the, you can tell the production of the RNA. So now if you take the DNA and if you tag the 5 prime part with the radio level technique. So first you take the DNA, you radio level the 5 prime end, and you take a mixture of protein, or take a same one kind of protein. For example, if I take the sp1 protein as an example, now you allow the mixture. Now you take two samples. You simply take two samples, sample 1 and sample 2. Now you allow the mixture of protein and you take the DNA that is radio leveled and go for a gel electrophoresis and autoradiography. On the X-ray film you can see the DNA fragments. So if the proteins are connected here, what will happen? Some part of the DNA will not show visibility on the X-ray film, because where the protein is connected to the DNA, that part is being protected when you are going for the digestion by the DNAs. So what we are doing, we have taken the DNA thread here. Now suppose if I apply DNase enzyme, not restriction fragment. So if I use restriction enzyme, then it will cut in a different place in DNA fingerprinting, but DNA footprinting we are using DNase 1, so it will cut the DNA. So in the sample 2, when the pure DNA is taken, no other things has been taken. So you can see the DNA fragments as a reference. But when the protein is being connected with it, now the enzymes DNase 1 is capable in vitro to cut the DNA, but some places where the protein are protecting the structure of the DNA, that is conserved or protected from the cleaving on nucleus cutting activities. So that part you can see a void or a blank, that is called the footprint. Now this part confirms, very importantly, confirms which part of the DNA is interacting or which sequence of the DNA is interacting with a specific protein. Correct? So in the reference with this you can study this part is capable to, in the X-ray flame you can study it. Now what is happening here? You are doing gel electrophoresis, you are doing autoradiography, but the problem is that you do not collect or separate. What you cannot separate? You cannot separate the protein and DNA complexes. For that we have to go for a gel shift analysis. Suppose if I go for a gel shift analysis, what is that? If you go for a gel electrophoresis, the protein and DNA complex, that's have a high molecular weight. So if you take the gel and you can see these kind of bands, now you can tell this band has gone further, that means it is the normal sample DNA. Here also the same thing, but this complex is moving little bit slower, that means there is a protein and DNA complex, because when protein and DNA makes a complex with the enhancer or promoter, its molecular weight will go up. Now whenever the molecular weight will go up, then the movement due to the sieving effect it will go slower. That is why in the gel shift analysis you can separate the protein DNA complex. Correct? Another thing is that the toe printing method. Don't get confused with it. Toe printing is nothing but the process or technique to study where the mRNA molecule is connected with the ribosome. Correct? So mRNA and ribosome is making polysome complex. In that case we follow the toe printing method, that we'll study later. Okay, now I have cleared the screen, the board. Now what we can understand from it, there are two different types of DNA footprinting. That is the in vitro, another one is the in vivo, means within the cell. What we are doing here, we are taking out the DNA and we are mixing it with the protein extract or nuclear extract that contain a specific protein. For here we have used the sp1 that bind to the GC region of the DNA. Now we go for the radio leveling, 32p5 prime radio leveling, then go for the gel electrophoresis and all the method that has been discussed. So we can see the void, this place where the protein is connected with the DNA, so that part is protected. But suppose now you have used definitely a cutter enzyme, that is the nuclease, otherwise you cannot cut the DNA. Restriction enzyme is a very specific, but it is randomly cutting the DNA. But in case of a in vivo, means if you want to study the cell as it is in the confocal microscopy, then how do you cut the DNA? How we shall cut the DNA without enzyme, without destroying anything, cell membrane? You know, ultraviolet ray, UV ray can make a cut within the cell without disrupting the cell membrane. So in vivo technique, if you want to study the live cell, we can use ultraviolet as a scissor. Correct? So in contrast to this one, we can use the ultraviolet and we have the DNA fragments in vivo technique, and we also combine the immunoprecipitation technique with it to study the DNA footprinting in vivo. So in short, if you summarize it, DNA footprinting is nothing but a technique to study the region of the DNA that interact with the proteins. The protein may be your must remember that one. This protein should not be an enzyme. This should be a DNA binding protein. It could be an enhancer. It could be a transcription factor. Those are sequence of amino acid. I think definitely it will help you. In the coming section, we will discuss lots of things. You can like, share, and subscribe with your friends so that we can upload more videos like this. Have a beautiful time ahead. Thank you for watching.